Hi everyone. Tonight we're going to be crafting a really simple bow tie. The bow tie I'm making is going to go in a headband, but you can also grab some double-sided hook and loop closure and easily attach that to the back, and it can turn into a dog, cat, or other animal bow tie. So we're going to need a very few I almost said ingredients, we're not baking, very few supplies in order to make these bow ties. You need whatever piece of fabric you're going to use. You need some type of backing to make it stiff. You can also use starch. If you have a thicker fabric, you definitely do not need the backing. I've used stuff that is way thicker and have not needed backing, but this is a super thin, like almost handkerchief style fabric. I'm going to be using some like gold sparkly, this is just like what's this called? Like, I'm blanking on words here. But it's just like a ribbon, really simple ribbon. The alternative to, if you don't want to pull in another fabric, is take a piece of your existing fabric. I'll show you one from an earlier project. And we can really easily use this in the middle, and that's gonna hide kind of like our seam, if you will, or where the bow tie comes together. So, oh, and also you'll need your nice sharp craft scissors. So really simple. You just need your fabric, your backing, a glue gun, either more fabric or a piece of ribbon to put it together. The string is critical to help keep it together in the middle of the process. And then whatever you're going to attach it to, whether it be a hair clip, a headband, or like I said, the hook and loop earlier. So I'm just going to really quickly, I think my iron is not super hot yet, but that's okay. We'll just crank it up a little and it'll heat up really fast. Yeah, this is like barely heated, but okay, there we go. I'm just smoothing this out, the fabric we're going to use. The top of it, to make sure everything looks nice and smooth. Then we turn that over and we put our backing on it. The great thing I love about this project is you will notice the whole time that you don't need to be super accurate. So you just need to work in a rectangular shape. I believe, what is it, like 5 by 7 or 8, something like that. You know, your standard photo frame size. So I put the rough side rather down onto the back of the fabric, and now I'm just hitting all of the corners and everything to make sure this adheres. This is going to be hot. Okay, what's basically happening here is the backing is heating up and bonding itself to the fabric. So you can immediately see now this is like a very firm piece of fabric compared to what we had before. So I think it's cool enough, because my iron isn't that hot, to peel off. Ooh, no. I never rip it. I never rip it. Okay. Well, normally I get that off in one fell swoop, but today we're just going to have to do multiples. And it should come off really easily, just like that. So then the next decision you're going to make is, do you want your bow tie to be long or short and squatty? Because basically what we're going to do is we're going to fold it. Here, let me show you on like a knot piece that has stick on it. So you're going to fold it like this, and then again the sides, okay? And this is going to be the package that we then fold into, do a little folding work to make it into a bow tie. So I do the long sides meet and then the short sides meet. So you have to do your long sides meet first. The great thing I love about this backing is that it sticks really nicely together without the iron, and then you just do one press over the iron and it's bonded. It's awesome. And then the next thing we'll do is we'll take the short sides together. This will be a little bit more accurate. So this is like a smaller bow. This is something I would say is better for like a small cat or a toy-sized dog. My dog is 25 pounds and I make them a little bit bigger than this. And I can also show you while that cools for a second, because we're now done with our iron. So turning that off and setting it safely out of the way. And then at this point you want to make sure your glue gun is getting hot or is hot already. So this is our small bow. You can make them, you know, just change the dimensions. You can make them as big as this guy. This is for a large dog. And that is for a dog that's going to be in a wedding, which I absolutely love. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to hit this side with the smallest ribbon of hot glue. I don't know if you can even see that. And just pinch that together so that we kind of get a little bit of a stick there. And that's going to just help keep everything together. You might notice that, like, oh, you'll have a corner. See, now you can see they're sticking together on their own. You might see like, oh, this top corner I can tell is really going to give me a hard time when I fold it. Just hit it with like the smallest amount of glue. Okay, so then you want to pull, and that again, that's an optional step. That for me just makes everything easier when I'm doing this next step. So I've got my string here. So the next step is we're going to fold the bow tie. Really the only critical thing to remember when you're folding a bow tie is you want your two ends to start down. You don't want to have a raw edge facing outwards. So just tuck it down, and then I try to do 3 folds. I think it looks nice and is simple. So you're just folding it forward and then backward, and then pinching it together. So that at this point, don't worry about anything about other than getting the folds together. And then you'll take your piece of string and tie it. Just, whoop. I'm trying to make sure you guys can see and I can't see. I would never do this facing this way, but, and then you just do your little hook through, and then I always tie a second one to really make sure we aren't going anywhere. This one seems to be staying together really good. Okay, we'll just trim off that excess. And then you have your bow tie. So cute. And this is at the point where you can, okay, I notice my string is a little too far to one side, just pinch it down and roll it over. Trust me, it is way easier to adjust when it is tied together like that. So the next thing I'm going to do is add, so you can envision, you know, we're trying to cover up that middle part, especially where the string is. So I'm going to do a couple loops of this. So all I do is put the tiniest dot of hot glue and lay the ribbon on there, and give yourself a little bit of excess so that you're not trying to push the tail of the ribbon onto the hot glue. And then I'm just gonna look here. Gonna face myself and do just a little adjustment. Okay, and then wrap it. Let's see, I think I'm gonna do 4 times around. I think that looks cute. And then what I will do is take one more dab of hot glue and put that last piece of ribbon on there. And then with the ribbon, I will just hold it for a second. But if you're using your spare fabric, this will set pretty much immediately. The ribbon, I'm just making sure it's nice and taut. And then you cut your excess off. And there's pretty much a completed bow tie. And now all that's left is attaching it to whatever you're going to attach it to. So I'm doing a headband in this instance. The headband is the slightly trickier one because you want to make sure, okay, when it's on their head, where is it going to sit? So I like them a little bit off center. So I'm gonna go ahead and put a nice size dab of hot glue here. And then we will take the back side and just go ahead and press it down and hold. Make sure you have that glue touching in as much surface area as you can, so maybe even squeeze it a little bit. Don't touch it with your fingers, even though you're tempted to, like me. And then for the sake of the video, I think that is done. Ta-da! And now the hot glue obviously needs to dry totally, but that is how to make a bow tie. And it's really simple. I love that you do not need to be totally accurate with your sizes and your cuts. It's such a fun project, especially for leftover fabrics. I just want to get this to dry in an upward position here. There we go. So thanks for watching. This channel is really just me recording the crafts I'm already making, so who knows what's next. Maybe some acrylic paints, or I don't know, a wreath. We'll see what I get up to. Thanks so much. Have a good day.